welcome back to the Mostly Mindful Show. I'm Arja.
And I'm Ananya, and today we're going to be talking to you about cycle syncing. So, Arja and I were just discussing how women's health has been historically underfunded. And we also didn't really know much about this until a few months ago because we were never taught this or explained this. But recently, we've been seeing a growing trend around cycle syncing and seed cycling and how to really hack your period. And both of us have found that it actually really works.
It does. I think before we even get into what the hacks were and what worked for us, let's just share a little light on what it really is. Because like you said, both of us didn't even know it was a thing.
Yeah.
Until even we, I think, read on some Instagram post
Exactly.
or I think we were hearing a podcast and that's how we found out. But just in super layman terms, cycle syncing is basically just syncing your daily lifestyle, your workouts and your diet in relation to the phase of your menstrual cycle. That's what it is.
Yeah.
And why we do this is because your hormones constantly change, right? So because your hormones are constantly changing, that we try to match with the phase you're in. So there are phases where you are feeling more energetic. There are phases where you have a lot of energy, phases where you're super productive, or you're hungrier or you're snappier, whatever it is. But that actually has a direct relationship with the hormones fluctuating in your body.
Yeah, absolutely. I think so many of us, I think most women I know have felt these symptoms, but they didn't really know what's going on. We didn't know the science behind it, and we didn't know that we can actually do things to make these symptoms feel better. So, for example, in the few days before your period, you will probably feel a bit moody or tired. I mean, of course, it's different for everyone, but for me personally and some people that I've spoken to, those days do tend to be kind of more difficult than post your period, for example. So there are ways that we can actually make those days easier and work towards making our cycle better and healthier.
Absolutely. I think 100% agree with you. And like, even for me personally, I didn't know there's something known as cycle syncing. What I figured out was, there were times that like every time I was on my period, I would just tell people, oh, I don't have the energy to lift, but I can always do a lot more cardio, like in relation to my training. And that's it. I figured out that was a pattern.
Yeah.
So for me, that was cycle syncing. And I was like, oh, okay, like, energy is not the best. I'm bleeding, blah, blah, blah. So that's why I can't lift, but it's fine. It'll bounce back once I stop bleeding, and I'd rather focus on endurance then. So for me, that was literally cycle syncing. So I think let's just dig a little deeper into the phases of cycle syncing, because there are 4 phases in this cycle for women. First one basically being your menstrual phase, which is when you're bleeding. And I think that is when your estrogen levels are at the lowest. So, that's when you might be feeling a little blah, lazy, not like, your bubbly self. And that is what that phase is all about. So what, is recommended is go for light walks, do light movement, do yoga, and just eat very good food, in the sense, nourish yourself well. And I think that's something that, again, has a very direct relationship to your menstrual cycle. That's nutrition. The way you feed your body, it is going to help you come out of the way you're feeling in a better, positive way, as
For
opposed
sure.
to, just being sluggish. Of course, cravings happen. I think that's the highest time when cravings happen is just before your period and while you're on your period.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there are so many things that our body actually tells us. So for me, leading up to the period, I definitely have more cravings. And that's when a lot of people want chocolate or whatever it
I
is
do.
that same. We've all been there. So your body really tells you that. So it's also about listening to your body. If your body is telling you that it's tired leading up to your period or on your period, then just take it easy. If you miss your workout, then that's fine. or if you just do an easier workout or a light walk or just a light flow of yoga, that's recommended because your body is also then able to recover better. Without that, and if you're doing something super intense and pushing yourself, then recovery becomes a challenge. And I've seen this myself when I was wearing my fitness tracking ring. I was doing really intense workouts around my period, and the next day my scores were all off. And I do the same workout during my follicular phase, which we'll come to, and my scores were perfectly fine the next day. And that was my body's way of telling me that, okay, maybe you should take it easy during menstruation or your luteal phase. So what's the next phase of menstruation?
Yeah. Okay, so the next phase is basically your follicular phase, which is day 6 to about 13, 14 in the month's cycle. And this is when your estrogen starts rising again. So you have a lot of more energy and your creative side suddenly turns on. So this is the phase where you can be doing higher intensity workouts. You can be brainstorming your work things, socializing way more, like your social battery comes on. And I don't think we mentioned this with the menstrual phase, but I know both of us struggle with like socializing when we're on that phase. So I think this phase is like closest to your peak performance in terms of your energy levels, in terms of your productivity levels, in terms of your energy for workouts as well. Because you've had your bleeding cycle is over, or your estrogen is starting to rise. So let's say, a little wave. You've hit your lowest and you've hit table 1 of coming back up. So this is the time, again, nutrition, big role to play. So this is when you should be eating fresh, eating green vegetables, and including protein into your diet again, so that it's keeping your energy going for the day, keeping you full, and just lets you have, a good day ahead to be max productive.
For sure. And for me personally, I love the follicular phase. I have so much more energy. I'm so much more social. I am right now in my follicular phase as well. So I'm quite happy. I come up with greater ideas and I generally feel better. And I also schedule meetings and things to do during that time while I can. And I try to take it easy in my luteal phase, which we'll come to later. But I definitely find that in the follicular phase, I'm able to take on things a lot more easily. And I don't know if you feel that way as well.
I do. I feel like I can conquer the world in that phase. Like I wake up with this, oh my God, I'm going to be so productive today. Like, just those to-do lists you see, I wake up with that energy of today, everything's going to be ticked off on the list.
Even your workout, I just find I can do so much more in that 1 hour. How many ever minutes I'm working out, I'm way more energetic and I definitely feel that.
Yeah, same. And like I was saying, it's just that initially we didn't know that these are the phases and that's what it's called and stuff. But now that, we're more aware of it, it makes so much more sense, because this is that like straight after my period is when I'm just like, oh, I'm such a badass at the gym and I can lift. And, it's like, mentally, I'm like, oh, well, till last week, you couldn't do this. But this week, you suddenly can. And there's a part of your brain's like, oh, did you just get stronger? And then you realize that cycle syncing is a thing. Like your daily movements are coming into play with just how your, fluids are moving inside.
So it's all hormonal.
Yeah, it's basically just how hormonals are working.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so what's the third phase?
So the next phase is your ovulatory phase, which are around days 15 to 17 of your cycle. This is when your estrogen and testosterone are at their peak. And so if you're trying to get pregnant, this is the best time for you to try, because this is when you're most likely to conceive. And it's also the time where you should do high energy workouts, confidence boosting activities. Like if you have a presentation or something important, you have an important pitch to make, this is the time that you should do it. You should, in terms of diet, you should be focusing on some anti-inflammatory and fiber-rich foods. So that could be veggies, whole grains. Turmeric is a great anti-inflammatory. So incorporating these little things will actually make you hack your cycle better. I think that's definitely one of the highlights of the cycle, which actually leads us into one of my personal least favorite parts of the cycle, which is the luteal phase.
Yeah.
And I think most of us dread that phase. So I recently saw a meme which I really related with, which said, if you can't handle me at my luteal phase, you don't deserve me at my follicular phase. And I felt like that's so true. And I'm so moody on my luteal phase. I definitely fight more with my husband. And I think even he knows now to be better to me during that time, because it is hormonal. You can't really help it. So tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah. So I think this is the phase where you are lowest on your energy levels. And that's why we all feel this way, because it's like scientifically, it's when like your progesterone starts to rise again. That's why your energy is dipping, your mood is dipping. And all you can do is basically suck it up, because again, it's hormones and it's going to come every month. But in terms of tackling it with diet, this is when you need to be having like more warm meals and wholesome meals and a lot of more healthy fats. Because that's what your body is actually craving for. Like that's the hormone signal. But even for me, I think I struggle with this phase the most. Like, I am so snappy. It's ridiculous. I want to fight with every single person. I'm always just like, oh, why this? Why this? And like, it takes 2 seconds to get me irritated. And it's only now of recent that I've, because we're older, I think I consciously have to tell myself and like just take a deep breath and be like, oh, don't yell. It's just like your hormones, doing its thing. But I think it's the hardest phase for all women out there, because once you're on your period, it's a very different type of feeling, right? Then for some, it's basically more of pain because you're bleeding and you're getting cramps. But this is a combination of you're also getting the cramps, but you're also moody.
It's premenstrual syndrome as well. You're PMSing and
exactly.
It's all hormonal. So there is the science behind it. So it's just a reminder to also take it easy during that time. Don't be too hard on yourself. Like if you want to take a break, just take a break. And if you're getting cravings, indulge a little bit.
Absolutely.
Because your body is working really hard for you. So you've definitely earned it.
Yeah. And when it comes to like the training aspect, during this time, what I actually would recommend is focusing more on the strength training aspect. And I don't mean, going hard out or have to hit a personal best, because that's a very person to person thing. Like some people can, but instead of like getting into higher intensity workouts and like just things that are more cardiovascular and will take your heart rate up, that should just be on a pause during this time and focus on lower impact. Basically, so strength training is what I like. Even with my clients now, I have tried to cycle sync some like workouts for some of them, and just the week before their period, or like at least 5 days, we stop cardio like to a drastic level from what I've been making them do it like the 2 weeks prior, because that's when they have energy. Right now, we're just doing a big chunk of strength and then a big chunk of mobility just to make you feel good.
Mobility is great. I find Pilates, bar and yoga also great options for this time. So that's what I gravitate towards. Again, low impact, low intensity, lighter weights. And I find that then my recovery is also much better when I focus on lighter and lower impact workouts during the luteal phase.
Absolutely. And I think what actually works for me also during the luteal and menstruation phase is going for walks. I don't know if I don't know if this will help everyone or it's just like, person to person thing. But I think you do agree with that
I totally agree. I frankly love that because it also helps me clear my mind. I tend to have way more thoughts and emotions. I'm more sensitive during that period. So taking a walk is, of course, it has the physical benefits.
But just being out in nature.
The mental benefits as well. I mean, it definitely makes you feel better. It also gives me new ideas, makes me more creative. And I just feel like it's a good release for me as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think even with PMS, because so many times I've just told my friends, like, everyone who's crying and cribbing about, we're getting such bad cramps. I've actually just started making people come on walks with me when they're feeling that way. And just that movement helps because again, hormones is one part of the thing, but even just everything internally, movement is just letting things go. Like,
some light movement.
There's circulation happening. So it's a very, I think it's a very prominent and important thing when you're in these two phases, especially
Right.
because you're low on energy, I think it's very important to make that conscious effort to just go on a walk, even if it's 10 minutes, even if it's just in your balcony or driveway or whatever.
For sure.
It just
Yeah.
it brings out, like, it low-key throws out like the more
Yeah.
toxic hormones inside
For
you.
sure. In fact, that just reminded me, that's also how we first met, was on a walk.
It
Do you remember?
was.
And I love that we have that in common. And that's something that I've started doing with a lot of my friends, is now just meeting them for walks.
Yeah.
Instead of meeting them for lunch or dinner, we go for walks, and it's amazing. And
I agree. I think it's still my favorite way of
it's the
meeting.
best. Yeah. Okay, so the next thing I thought we could talk about is seed cycling, which we were just discussing. We're seeing it all over social media all of a sudden. It's become such a huge trend, and it's something that I recently started doing. I can't say for sure that I felt huge benefits from it, but to be fair, I also didn't have a very problematic period before. But since I'm consuming these seeds anyway, I thought might as well just sync them to my cycle and try it out. So the first part of seed cycling is during your follicular phase, when you have 1 tablespoon of pumpkin seeds and 1 tablespoon of flax seeds, which is meant to support rising estrogen levels.
Okay.
Right. And so they recommend having it ground and blended, and I just sprinkle it on top of my breakfast because I thought, what's the harm? And it's supposed to help you. It's supposed to help with bloating and symptoms of your period when it does come, and cramps and all of that.
Okay. And then the second phase is basically your luteal phase when it comes to seed cycling. And that's from basically days like 15 to 28. And this is the time where you should be having sesame seeds and sunflower seeds. Again, the reason of why it helps is still very similar. One, it's to help with your progesterone, but second, just for, detoxifying the excess estrogen, reduce bloating, reduce PMS symptoms of you feeling bloated, of you feeling low in energy. But this is like a very, I think, brief into what seed cycling is. It's still a very like new, phenomena that's come in. And I think you and I have also just figured about it is through social media. And there isn't too much science behind it on, its benefits and is it necessary as such or not. I personally do not, cycle sync. Like, I don't seed cycle to my periods. I am very different in terms of when it comes to having my seeds. I look at it as, I want to have them on a daily basis for the nutritional value and benefits. So I make sure I have all of them at some point during the day. So for me, I start my day with 5 almonds and 5 cashews. First thing when I wake up, have hot water, and that's the first thing I do. And then during the day when I'm having my smoothie as well, that's when I'll, throw in all the other seeds like watermelon seeds, pumpkin seeds, sesame seeds. That's when I do it. So I definitely can say since I started having seeds, I do see a difference in my energy levels. And I do see an improvement in, just my gut health overall, because that is more so, I think, because I'm having, fat first thing in the morning because you're having almonds and cashews. But I don't know how much logic and research back there is in terms of cycling these with your
Right. I think I also don't know how much science there is behind it because I did a lot of research on it and I wasn't able to find too many studies. So that's a disclaimer out there.
Yeah.
But like you, I was consuming these seeds every day. So I thought, okay, why not just sync them with my cycle?
Yeah.
So maybe you guys can try it out and let us know what you think. I have friends who have tried it and swear by it.
Yeah.
So I guess you have to find if it works for you, then why not try a natural remedy?
Yeah, fair enough. But okay, what about the cycle syncing aspect? Because that does have a lot of science backed to it. And it's not just, a trend. What's your take on it? Because for me personally, I would put it in the middle category of it being science backed, but also a trend, is only because I never knew the, phases and the names of each phase and what they actually, help you with. And I hope this, podcast helped you understand what the 4 stages are. But for me, it was never a thing. And we're both in our late 20s. For so long, we actually didn't know how you break up your cycle. So from that aspect, I'll just be like, oh, yes, it's a trend because it just suddenly picked up now. But we figured our way around
Yeah.
it, right? Like you just listen to your body and you understand what's working for you every single month.
For
But there
sure,
is
yeah.
science backed with it. So how did you feel about it?
Honestly, I think it's been so useful for me to know this information because, like you said, we were feeling that stuff anyway, and we couldn't quite put our finger on what we're feeling. But now that I know that there's this whole science behind it, that, okay, this is why I'm feeling kind of moody, or this is my body telling me to take it easy during this phase in my workout, I feel like it's been a really useful tool to have.
Yeah.
I feel there's so much science behind it, and I think that it's going to definitely tell me how to go about my cycle. And now I'm going to be so much more mindful of that. And whenever I do work out, I will sync it to my cycle. Of course, I listen to my body as well, but I find that when I do practice cycle syncing, it just works better for my body and my mind in general. And I really do feel the benefits.
Yeah.
So
100%, I agree. It's like now that I know this is why I'm feeling this way,
yeah,
it just makes sense in my head. Like, I'm not beating myself up or I'm not feeling like I
For
wanted
sure.
to do this and why did I not? Because you pretty much have understood how your hormones are fluctuating and what signals they're giving you.
Yeah, absolutely. So
I hope
we-
this helped you guys, and you also will try cycle syncing if you haven't as yet. And
yeah, if you liked our episode, please follow, subscribe, and save it. And we'll see you at the next one.